put it over there.
We have one person in. Whoever that is, we appreciate you. First one up. Are we good on sound?
Audience of one.
So I'm gonna just let me see. I'm gonna try to put a little chat up.
Dan, let me know when you're recording because I'm not recording with the camera yet.
Alright, I'm gonna stop recording.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, we got them flexing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes of podcast fun.
Behind the scenes of podcast. Oh, sheesh.
All right.
All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? We are going to be filming one of our first episodes of the Johnny Drinks podcast. If you don't already subscribe, the page is Johnny Drinks Podcast on YouTube, on Instagram. We're going to be on Apple Podcast and Spotify. So check us out. Today we're going to be talking about, what is it? Health and wellness, lifestyle, how to live a balanced lifestyle while running a drinking page.
Right.
So
So this is one.
How's this?
This is one subject that I'm really looking forward to.
It's gonna be a
I'm
good
gonna
one.
sit over here.
Yeah. To expand upon and explain to people, because we get a lot of people that think we drink every day, think we drink constantly, and that's not accurate. So.
These are coffees.
You guys want to start from the top with an intro?
Yeah, sure.
We're just
Awesome.
talking to our fans.
Oh, awesome.
Saying hi, everybody.
Oh, cool. Hey, everyone.
All right, this is coffee, by the way, guys. We're not even having cocktails.
Nope. This is actually, to be specific,
What is this?
this is the Johnny Drinks Americana coffee soda. I made it. So you're gonna have to watch the podcast, right? The introduction to the podcast will show you how I made it. And I think it's pretty good. You like it?
No.
Wanna move it
You don't
back?
like it?
If it's about to fall, you can move that back by loosening that.
I think it's something.
Wait, did you say you don't like this?
I gotta be honest, I don't love it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't want
What
to.
don't you like about
I'm
it?
not gonna say it on camera, but
You
for
could
people
say
behind
it.
the scenes.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. What don't you like about it?
Something about the the
You
carbonation.
didn't want me to put any sugar in it.
Right, it's healthy.
Yeah, but
The
when
carbonation's
you're
throwing me
on
off.
the
I would rather just coffee.
Well, that's why, you know what, you're not used to, I grew up with Manhattan Specials, which is
I
a
love
coffee
Manhattan
soda.
Special.
Well, that's full of sugar.
Right. That's not healthy. That's
This
not
is
part of the healthy
version.
lifestyle.
It's the Americana
And
53.
coffee
and
soda.
134.
No, it's fine, Ty. All right, guys, we're gonna be starting soon. The stream's gonna be starting. Again, if you're coming in middle or when we're finishing up, make sure to check it out. This will be published, I would say, in about a month or so. So stay tuned.
Yeah, at least.
At least. Don't worry about it. What are people saying?
No, they were looking at your ceiling.
How we looking?
Yeah.
How do you guys inside?
Cut off the camera so.
Put it down below.
This is where it was.
Just leave it, put it down
Just
below.
leave it, it's
No,
okay.
it's too, yeah, there you go.
It's good, everything's set and we'll restart because
There
we
you go.
can only release for a half hour. until-
Sorry.
Ready to go.
Yeah, whatever. Ready. You guys roll.
They're looking at this,
Roll for half hour, then what happens?
too hot.
Then it stops and we have to restart, but
No.
It's
The
not-
master shot goes.
not a big deal.
These, the video, when it goes video, it can only continuously record for 30.
Why?
I don't know, it just automatically stops. It's like programmed in there.
Alright,
But we just push the button.
Alright.
But there's 3 cameras going, so you don't have to
Alright,
worry
let's
about
do it.
rolling in.
Alright, ready? I'll roll. 1, 2, 3. Roll.
Alright, so, one, two,
Well,
say,
welcome to this week's podcast. No. Try that one more time. Ready?
yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's podcast episode. Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of Johnny Drinks Podcast. I'm your co-host, Johnny, here with my father,
This is John.
and we're going to be talking about living a healthy and balanced lifestyle. Now, the Johnny Drinks brand started out as something we kind of just found, right? Our first video was about cocktails. Neither of us are bartenders, so the joke I always make is if our first video was food, we'd be Johnny Eats right now. You know, so I say that because drinking isn't our identity, right? It's our character online, but it's not who either of us are, and we are actually relatively healthy, right? I would say we live healthy lifestyles, way more healthy than most people, and today I just want to share what that sort of looks like.
Yeah, because you just bring up a good point, you know, this came to us. The cocktail was the vessel that was out there and got all these views and it was fantastic and it just ran away and all of a sudden we said, oh, let's do it again, kind of thing. Okay, got it. And the drink name, Johnny Drinks, was just appropriate. But to your point, additionally, you know, I was never a big drinker. And to date, I've certainly drank more than I ever did as an older person versus a younger person. But In high school, didn't drink. College, I didn't drink.
That's fair. I'll give you that one because honestly,
Yeah,
I don't know when you
straight truth.
started. Really,
I know exactly when I started.
Me, you're gonna blame me.
No, I'm gonna tell you, if you really wanna go back and you can ask guys I hung around with, you can ask your mother, you can ask whoever you want that was with me in those times. Did not drink in high school, I didn't care for it. I did not drink a lot in college, and really the predominant reasons for that was and I still think I'm athletic, I'd like to stay athletic. I believed that I was going to be a professional baseball player. The only problem was I couldn't run, hit, or throw.
Same joke every time I said that.
Well, so anyway, I had a mission that I was on. I played college baseball, you know that.
Yep.
And the point was, I didn't want to go out and water down my experience the next day. So I just didn't do it. And that was my commitment to myself, staying as best conditions as I could. You know, you're talking 30 years ago now.
Yep. Well, that's interesting because honestly, I can pinpoint when you started to drink a little more than usual, and it came in my later years because when I was in high school and when I was in college, I almost wouldn't believe when you would say I didn't drink.
Right.
And I would have to then have mom
Right.
or one of your friends attest like, yeah, no, he didn't drink that much in high school, didn't drink that much in college, and that kept me. That was a good role model for me to say, okay, you know what? It's okay to take it back and take a step down when everybody else is really going
Yeah.
hard.
Sure.
And then in the later years of my life, now it's a little bit different, but that's only because of what we do here.
Sure.
And again, there's
Sure.
a difference between socially drinking
Yeah.
and getting to a point where you're obliterated and
Out of
bad
control
things happen.
and irresponsible and not
So-
showing up for work.
let's talk about that because right now, as the Johnny Drinks brand, we're cranking out, I would say, anywhere from 4 to 7 videos a week, right? So if you see us as this character online, you can make the assumption, well, Johnny drinks every day. That's just not true because number one, we're not filming every day, and number two, I hate to break the news to you guys, but not every drink is actual liquor. Vodka and water look the exact same. So some of our
And
drinks,
gin and some of the gin drinks as well, because it's clear.
correct, it's clear.
Right.
Good
And
job. Thank you for pointing that out for us.
Well,
That's the point I'm trying to get at is that these drinks aren't always liquor. You know, we have to make it so you guys understand how to actually make the cocktail,
Right.
but we don't want to be the guys that are drinking every day because it is a slippery slope to go from, hey, one can't hurt, and one probably won't hurt you, but when you start saying to yourself, well, maybe just 2 or maybe just 1 more, and now you're getting drunk on a Tuesday night.
Well,
You know,
the
so-
other thing is, by the way, I don't want to waste good gin, good vodka,
Right, yeah.
good tequila, and just pour it down the drain because we know we're not going to drink it. It's the middle of the week. It's it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock sometimes at night, and I want to get in bed and get ready for my day, my morning workout, my morning routine, which we're going to talk about. You know, that's on my mind. So yeah, we're gonna pour that drink right down the drain sometimes.
Right. So let's talk about that because honestly, that's anytime it's a Tuesday or whatever it may be, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what, maybe 1 more drink won't hurt or 2 more drinks won't hurt. My immediate thought is, well, no, I have to wake up and go to the gym. So what is your, I guess, importance on living an overall healthy lifestyle?
Okay, so my idea of an overall healthy lifestyle includes getting up and going to the gym.
Mm.
Now, what I do at the gym is completely different at 56 years old than when I was 27, 30, and 40 years old, right?
Or 50.
Or
You were
50.
jacked at 50 years old.
Yeah.
You're still pretty jacked, but I would say like you were at your best, you were probably your best
Yeah.
peak shape, what, 50 years old?
Yeah, I think so.
You're
About
ripped. Let's pull up a picture.
About 6 to 8 years ago.
Let's pull up a picture of old Johnny Drinks.
No, but that was a perfect storm for me because I was working out, I was eating clean, I was not drinking, and I had a workout partner at the time that was pushing the heck out of me.
That's important.
And that is important. So, but back to, again, that question. So my mindset is I'm getting up in the morning, I'm going to the gym, and I'm gonna do something. I walk for an hour, that's boring, well, that's exercise, right? It's movement. I will do a push exercise one day, a pull exercise another day. I will do a stretch, a yoga, complete just yoga stretching for 20 minutes, sometimes half hour. So the routine is the routine, but the important part is I get up and I go. And regardless, here's the magic I think that works for me, especially at this age. If I go out and I drink, and I go to dinner and I have wine full of sugars, I go out and have cocktails, with my friends. I just got back from Vegas, okay? And we were up enjoying ourselves till 3 and 4 in the morning. I got up with 3 hours sleep, 4 hours sleep. I did a workout. It wasn't a great workout, but I moved my body.
Right.
Whether it's 100 push-ups, some sit-ups, some stretches, it's something. And if it was 15, 20 minutes, to me, in my mind, it's as much for this mental approach to get ready for the day as it is anything else.
Now, I do want to say one thing though, because there is a difference between living a healthy lifestyle and having balance and being a legitimate athlete with a goal, right? So if I were to talk to some of my athletic powerlifter, weightlifter friends who don't drink at all, that's because they want to be at the top of the top, right? And so liquor, whether it's the actual liquor you're drinking or like you said, it's the change in the day. Now you're staying out till 2, 3 in the morning, you're not sleeping, you're not getting up the next day. Some people will say, hey, you cannot have liquor. So I think take a step back and okay, identify what your goal is first, right? If your goal is just to be healthy, you can very well have a balanced lifestyle.
Sure.
If your goal is to be something very special and niche, you may have to look yourself in the mirror and say, I can't go out and drink at all.
Right. And that's important.
That's fine.
Identify that first.
Right.
And there's the old saying, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. You can drink, you can eat pizza, you can have all the cake and the cookies and the things you want in moderation.
Right.
Right? We do this around the holidays, and you know, my mom makes a coconut cream pie. I eat the whole pie. There's no one else that eats it. And I can't wait till the pie's gone, because then I know I'm done. I'm not eating any more pie.
Yeah, pie's delicious. And that's honestly, again, it's less about the actual liquor consumed and it could be living a balanced lifestyle is eating like that once in a while, because
Right.
the 80-20 rule, most of our diet consists, and I can attest to both of us because we're both, in good shape. We look the way we want to look, but we also like to have a good time. Most of what you don't see is just eating very clean, right? It's eggs in the morning, it's whole foods for lunch and second lunch and dinner, whatever it may be. I know I'm pretty regimented and just, there's no thought that has to be put into it. I know what I'm gonna eat, I eat it, and I move on.
Well, again, you just hit the nail on the head further, which is the thought of what you're going to do. So you don't eat processed foods. You don't stop because you're starving to a fast food place and eat that. You don't do that. I don't do that either. We will prepare and eat and maybe have a bar in our bag, or in my glove compartment I have a couple of bars. I ate one this morning because I was running around, but I knew it was in there and I knew I needed something, so I ate a protein bar. And that's not breakfast. That was just to hold me till I got to here and I could eat, have some food.
Right. So preparation is huge for a balanced lifestyle, because the last thing you want to do is slip. And I think even now with the holidays coming around, it's very easy to slip in terms of like, hey, man, I've had a stressful day or whatever, I can't wait to do a drink. And that's fine, but just don't make that a habit. Or hey, I don't have anything to eat, let me go run to McDonald's and grab some burgers. So that's very key, and it's very easy to do once you get into the routine of just having things kind of on repeat. You go in your fridge, you grab your lunch, you eat it, and you move on to the rest of the day.
What happens when preparation meets opportunity?
Success occurs.
There you go. Prepare at night, pack your bag for the gym the next day. Prepare your bag with a bar, throw it in there, throw something in your car. Have a bottle of water in your car. There's so many things you can do to make that moment where you're in a pinch and you're stuck in traffic and you're starving. Oh, I have a bar in my glove compartment.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not gonna be there if you eat it and you don't replace it, and it won't be there if you don't think of it ahead of time. So some of these little things are maybe be a little overboard for some people, but I've been in that situation where I've been caught in traffic and I just, I'm hungry, I'm hangry, and I need something, and then I remember, I got a bar in the glove box.
Now you're happy.
It breaks the edge, takes the edge off.
And look, I don't want to become, a fitness advice or a diet advice page. Maybe we have a professional on one day. But I will say this, again, just to make it easy for me, what I've learned is prioritize, for a meal's sake, prioritize whole protein first. Eat that, and then if you want to surround the rest of the meal with an energy source, which fat and carbs are energy, pick one over the other. Don't try not to combine both, and you should be okay. And again, that's the majority of your meals if you want to go and have fun. That's why I want to talk about almost the reverse, which you already identified, hey, you don't want to go too above or overboard with drinking and eating too much sugar or processed foods. But let's talk about the opposite, right? Like, we do live a balanced lifestyle, and when we do enjoy, we enjoy wholeheartedly. And I think a big thing that people do is they double down a bad choice with a bad attitude. So let's say, for example, whatever, you slipped up, you had the cake or you had the ice cream or the burger, whatever it may be, and now you hate yourself after it. That negative mindset and mentality is going to drag on, and it's actually, you're gonna, whether you want to believe it or not, you're not going to process that food the same way. You know, so
you can get stuck there too.
right, appreciate it. Look, enjoy the food you just had,
That's
and realize that you're not far off track. Get right back on as soon as you go eat your next
And,
meal.
and so let me ask you something. How many drinks does it take for you to feel altered?
Ooh, that's a really good question. How many drinks does it take for me to get altered? There's
You,
so many things
you're
that come.
130 pounds. You're
Who?
How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh?
Um,
No, you're 200 pounds.
I'm not 200 pounds.
Oh, sorry.
The good question. I'm like 175 right now.
I say
What are you doing? It's a
How many
holiday.
how many drinks
80
does it take for you to feel altered?
So I think a couple things come into play. Number one, what am I drinking?
Pick
Number
a spirit.
two,
Pick one.
what I eat that day, and what I do that day, right? So like, hypothetically, let's have an
Okay.
average day.
Yeah.
I need, from a cocktail standpoint, I would say like 3
Okay, so 3.
to feel something.
All right, so 3 cocktails get you somewhere. All right, let's call that buzzed, because that's not, let's go, it's still drinking and you're still drunk. Buzz is drunk, okay, whatever. But you're not so intoxicated that your night is ruined and someone has to help you home, right? So 3
Yes,
is,
yeah,
okay.
oh, definitely.
So if you know 3 does that to you, the same way, I would agree with you. 3 mixed cocktails, not 3 martinis.
You're on your ass on 3.
That's right. So you have to know. We're not talking about 3 martinis here, because martinis are like, 1 is not enough, 2 is just plenty. You just need to understand. You just need 3 is too many.
Is that how the saying goes?
No, it's 1 is not enough. 3 is
Pulling
too many.
George Bush on us.
Yeah, I'm teasing because I want you guys to
Right.
fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
You just understand, if we're talking mixed cocktails, you're right. I would say 3 is a good place for me. Now, if I know that and you know that,
Listen, I gotta be
Going
honest,
out.
man, it's not 3 for you. You're 1.5, 2, and
okay,
you're
all right.
and you're.
Maybe it's 2, but that's
What?
okay. I'm a lightweight. That's fine. I'm a lightweight. But I know that, here's the thing. My point is this. If you say 3 is your number, or 2 is your number, or 5 is your number, everyone's different, right? Body weight, the amount of sugar and alcohol that's in your system from the day before, because you went out last night and you drank.
Good point.
Okay. Whatever that number is, there is one thing to balance you out, to make you enjoy your evening and your experience, and that's this: water. Drink some water in between. So if it's 3 drinks, stretch it out. Have a drink, have a glass of water.
Right.
Have your other drink. If you discipline yourself that way, it's a much easier night. When you don't mix in water, you just pop down another one, and before you know it, you're on your 5th drink, and before you know it, it's 1 a.m.
Yep.
And then you got to make your decision. How am I getting home?
Which then lends
Which you
us
don't
to the next day, which is that hangover. And I think
Right.
some tips for the hangover right here. Water in between drinks. I always try to make sure every drink I have is coupled with some water. Number 2 is try to get as much sleep as possible the next day. If you go to bed at 2 in the morning, hopefully you're doing it on the weekend, you have nothing to do the next day. Try to get as much sleep as you can. And number 3 would be eating the right foods, right? Oh, and number 4 would be avoiding the sugary drinks. You do that, you can drink a decent amount and feel pretty good the next day.
Of course, the sugar is what gets you. The sangrias, like
No.
I said, the wine. A lot of wine. It'll just come back to bite you.
I think I can drink tequila until I pass out and I feel the next day pretty good.
Yeah, well, again, you have to know your body, you have to know your limitations, and you have to, again, know back to the origin of this: how do you balance fitness, how do you balance lifestyle, and the social drinking aspect versus the everyday nonsense. I mean, every day is, that's not good.
Well, here's another thing too about the number of drinks you're drinking in a night. And this goes back to like, and I saw somebody talk about it that was a lot smarter than me, but like duration of time, right? So your body isn't like catching up to the liquor in the same time you think it is. So let's say you had 5 shots of tequila and you had it within 2 hours. after that second hour, you may think you're feeling fine, but that liquor hasn't processed yet. So once that processes, you could stop drinking, and you'll feel yourself get more and more drunk as the night goes on, and then you start to question, man, why do I feel so shitty, or why do I feel like this if I stop drinking? It's because that liquor is just hitting you. So be cautious of that. Give yourself some time to pace out these drinks, so when you do hit that fifth shot, your body's prepared for it, and you know, all right, it's time to stop.
Have you ever felt like you drank yourself straight?
Yeah, you can drink, you're like, man, I keep going, I drank,
Yeah,
I had all
sure.
these shots, I'm fine.
That's usually the point of danger.
When you tell yourself you're not
You
feeling
say,
anymore, yeah.
oh wow, I just drank myself straight. Guess what? You didn't drink yourself straight.
No.
You're completely in a place that you probably shouldn't belong. Bells and whistles should be going off, and you should stop immediately what you're doing and drink and enjoy everyone else around you.
Yeah.
That's usually a good sign.
And part of the balanced lifestyle too is get some good friends. Get some friends that are gonna hold you accountable to say, hey, Johnny Boy's had a little bit too much to drink tonight. Let's go pack it up and go home.
Well, you
Or-
should always have a designated driver, a designated person. You know,
Right.
You have your group of friends you're gonna go out with, you better stay together, right? No one should be left alone and no one should go home alone. Everyone should be, you plan accordingly. It's all about being responsible.
Right. So I think the key takeaways here today to live a balanced lifestyle is to enjoy yourself. Number one, enjoy yourself when you are enjoying yourself, but reflect back on what you're doing for 80 to 90% of your day, right? Is your day balanced with nutrition, with physical fitness, with keeping your mindset right? Like, these are all things that are super important. So then when you do want to go relax and have a couple drinks, you can do so. But I think we wanted to have this talk just to make sure people know, because it is a serious topic, right? There are real alcoholics in the world, and we probably know a couple. We thankfully aren't, and we want to make sure we keep ourselves in check. We keep the people around us in check.
Right, and it goes back to how you approach anything. Drinking, eating, working out, the whole balance of even relationships with people. You have to, I really think, be fair to yourself, and what is it you hope to gain from it? What do you hope to gain from having a good relationship with somebody? What do you hope to gain from going to the gym? And once you identify what that goal is, you back into it and you stay there. Same thing would be said if, okay, I'm going out for dinner tonight. It's okay to say, I'm going out to dinner tonight and I'm only gonna have some wine. Program yourself. I'm gonna go out to dinner tonight, I'm gonna have one cocktail, and then I have one glass of wine.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with coaching yourself up, I think, to that. If you said to me before, how many of your friends go to the bar and they get asked the question, what can I get you? And they're like they never saw the menu at the fast food place before. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Go with
They have no
preconceived
plan.
notion of what do you think you're gonna drink?
No plan.
Right.
That's a problem. Well, let's see. I mean, this is a question I have for you. Being Johnny Drinks, you're expected to drink. So how do you handle when the crowds go, when people are chanting your name,
Yeah.
the ego's
Pump it up.
boosted?
Pump it up.
How does Johnny Drink maintain
Sorry.
that?
You watched this in
That
a
level
moment.
of balance.
I was just in a moment.
I know you were.
But I was in Vegas. That was what it was like.
I
was standing
hope
on the
not.
stage.
I pray.
There's
I
video.
pray that's not how your
Go
Vegas
find
trip
it.
was.
Go find
You got a
it.
rep now to uphold, and it's not just yours; it's mine too. So take it
All right,
easy.
so good. Ask the question.
No, like, because I think things can get carried away very quickly. So how do you handle when outside external influences
Yeah.
try to get in on you and get you to do things maybe you didn't want to do or wouldn't have done?
Well,
if
no
you-
one's gonna make me do something I don't want to do.
Okay.
And that was always the case with me. And I want to give you a good example. When I was in the younger age 20s and we would go out bars and everyone was doing shots. And they were doing like Jose Cuervo, inexpensive shots. They put the shots out like this, they raised the glass, and I would do this. Over my shoulder.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
I was not drinking that. It was easier for me to do this, and then they put the thing back down. And I always had another buddy that we'd look at each other and go, "Yeah, cheers," and that's it. We put it down, throw our money down, and get out of there.
But that's a really good point because not that you worry
We
about
don't want to do it.
not that you worry about being a buzzkill or whatever, but sometimes it is awkward to hold your ground and say,
Right.
no, I'm not doing it, and get angry, and now it's awkward for everybody.
Right.
So maybe it is something like that. Or I've done it where if I feel myself, and we're all going to cheers, I'll hit a cough and pour a little bit on the ground and then rip my shot. So I only got a little bit just to show what I'm doing. Sometimes that's easier than
Sometimes it is.
just saying no and being that guy that now
Or
is.
sometimes it's okay to take a sip of it. I've done it too. I've taken
Yeah,
a sip of
definitely.
it and I put it down. Like, oh, you're not gonna finish that, you're not gonna drink that. I'm like, no, do you want it? Yeah, I'll have it. Okay, good. Then you drink it.
Right.
You know, but it depends on, again, if you're really, really your friends, no one will care.
Right.
If it's that awkward crowd where it's just a bunch of testosterone and stuff, okay.
It happens though. We've all been there.
Correct, and at different ages. I would never, at this age in my life, have the same type of thing.
Well, that's why
in my 20s.
I asked you the question. At this age, you're now Johnny Drinks, and I'm sure whether it's adults or kids, they are influencing you in a way. Do you think the name or this sort of
Yeah.
persona has gotten to you a little bit?
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, just yeah.
What you put out to the universe, you get back.
Sure.
All of a sudden, if we're saying, you know, I'm Johnny Drinks, well, they don't call me Johnny No Drinks.
That's right.
So, yeah,
So we're drinking.
I'm drinking, and
Yeah.
I'm being responsible because that's how I'm wired. But the truth is, yeah, well, we're out and we're around and people want to have a good time. I want to have a good time. I'm wired to have a good time first.
Yeah.
However, and again, there's those moments well before this persona has, you know, shown its head. You go over the line and you forget, you lose, you know, again, you lose bearing on how many cocktails that I have. Or someone else keeps putting another cocktail in front of you, you're like, oh, that went down easy. Right, we've all been there. You want to do damage control, you want to minimize those times and those opportunities. But today, as it is, I'll hang out, I'll have a drink with whomever. I want to be responsible and keep, you know, again, my dignity as to the highest regard I can, and not make mistakes. That's what I think everyone should truly try to aspire to do, regardless of whether you have a cocktail in your hand or not. You need to act a certain way.
Yeah, and seriously, outside influence does impact you. So if you are going, let's say you want to do a dry January, don't go to the bar. Don't hang out with the people that love to get drunk, right? Like, you may have to take yourself out of situations that you normally would be in. And that's something that we've had to hold ourselves accountable with too, right? Like, again, this persona is now we drink. We both had to check ourselves, say, hey, tone it down a notch.
Yeah.
You know, we're in public or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
the accountability is definitely important. But yeah, get yourself away from the people that are going to influence you in a negative way.
Yeah, so, well, that being said, I mean, there's so many more things and so many other, I guess, directions we can go with this conversation. The fact remains, we have a mindset that is lifestyle, health conscious, and it is something, again, for, I think, both of us, we just enjoy more than some of the alternatives. You know, I like feeling a certain way after I go to the gym. And the best part of the day for me in the morning is the shower after I'm done working out, right? So that's cool, and I look forward to that, and that's a good place from which to start. Look forward to something, and the other stuff will be the fringes, but the main core of who you are should resonate through in some form, some way or another. And in this case, I think, especially for you, you spend 2 hours a day at the gym, right? An hour? 20 minutes? Okay, how long?
Yeah, I'm consistent. Yeah. I'd say.
Yeah, so on average, an hour, 2 hours a day.
An hour, 2 hours. I'd say.
Right. So that's again, that's what you do, and you stay true to that.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, listen, this was a great topic. I'm glad that, again, we got a chance to share with people and expand upon some of the comments that are always made on the TikTok.
Right.
And that's in larger part why we're doing these podcasts. There's so much more I'm certain he wants to talk about that I'd like to share and try to bring a greater value to our audience. And this is the venue, this is the place that we're gonna do it. The
Right.
pod is designed to give you guys a little bit more than just this, 30-second, 1-minute video snap of us.
So for those that are listening, we do appreciate you, and I know this is important for us. Like you said, this is special. This is our chance to really show you who we are. But that being said, if you do have, and this is again serious topic, if you have an issue with alcohol, we're not professionals. Your friends aren't professionals. Your mom's not a professional. You may need to seek professional help. And that's one thing I will say. I'm gonna sort of cut it there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun on this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. This is a free podcast, but the one thing we do ask that you share with a friend, show some love, like it, spend some time with people that need
Yeah,
to
and follow me on Twitter,
Nope, do not follow me on Twitter.
Johnny.drinks.
It's not even that. It's not even your name. You have to find out your name is first.
At Johnny_drinks.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, underscore, sorry. I
That's
just started this account and I'm on a crusade. I run it, I have to blow this thing up. I have like 81.
81 followers.
All
Stay
right.
healthy, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're gonna get that bigger. I'm gonna get my Twitter.
How we doing over there?
What do you
How we doing over there, people?
20 people.
Thumbnail, 20 thumbnail
Say
photos.
goodbye.
Good.
Oh, say goodbye. Go.
All right, guys.
Before say goodbye. Go to
Bye.
at Johnny_drinks.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for
Say
joining.
goodbye.
At Johnny_drinks.
Where if you guys say bye? Come on.
Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed.
I just like came back into the world. I was so focused on this.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if I can read all these. Too much echo. Yeah, obviously this is not like the real stream, guys. We're going to be posting the actual podcast on Apple. We have a separate page called Johnny Drinks Podcast. We just wanted to show you a little behind the scenes. Appreciate all the love. We'll be back very soon. Anything to say, big man?
Ooh, sorry, I was drinking water. Thanks for tuning in.
Look at that. Everybody's showing
And
some love.
thank you.
Look at that love.
Check out my Twitter account.
Don't check the Twitter account.
Check out Twitter account.
Don't do
at Johnny_drinks.
Cheers, everybody.
I need some more followers on my Twitter. I just started it.
Cheers.